right, let's get right into it. Ever wonder what really separates the traders who make it from those who don't? I'll give you a hint. It's not some secret indicator or a fancy algorithm. It's all about what's going on up here, in your head. So today, we're going to crack open the trader's mind and lay out the 13 essential laws you absolutely have to live by, drawing from the fantastic work by Trends of Trading.
And this quote just nails it, doesn't it? This is really the core of the whole thing. The market, that's just the playing field. The real fight, the one that matters every single day, is the one you have with the person in the mirror. You see, mastering the market starts with mastering yourself.
So, who is this real opponent? It's not some Wall Street hotshot or a super-fast computer. Nope, it's your own mind when it's running wild. Think of it like a high-tech factory. You wouldn't expect a perfect product to come off an assembly line that's full of busted, unprogrammed machines, right? Well, your mind is that machinery, and you've got to get it tuned up and programmed for success before you even think about risking your hard-earned cash.
And this really says it all. We spend so much time focusing on charts, strategies, and all the technical stuff. And that's important, for sure. But the real heavyweight in this game is your psychology. It can and will outweigh the best strategy in the world if you let it. Getting that balance right is everything. And these laws we're about to go through, they're the programming that's going to tip those scales in your favor. Okay, so that brings us to our next big idea. You've got to forge a written game plan. Let me say that again, written. Professional traders don't just wing it. They operate from a detailed blueprint. This isn't just an idea floating around in your head. It needs to be a physical document you can look at, that you can hold yourself accountable to. And your game plan has to answer these 5 critical questions, no exceptions. First, who are you? As a trader. Are you in and out fast like a day trader? Or are you holding for days or weeks as a swing trader? This defines everything. Second, where are you playing? You can't be an expert in all markets, so pick your battlefield. Third, what are your signals? What exactly has to happen for you to enter a trade? And a key law here is to keep it simple. Complexity is your enemy. Fourth, how do you protect your money? This is your risk model. And finally, what's your exit plan? And for both winning and losing trades. Writing this stuff down is what turns gambling into a business. Now, a huge part of your risk plan is something called position sizing. This is basically your financial seatbelt, and it's all about protecting your capital above everything else. It's not about how many shares you buy, it's about deciding how much am I willing to lose if I'm dead wrong on this trade. For example, say you have a $100,000 account and you set a 2% risk roll. That means the absolute most you can lose on any one trade is $2,000, period. This is how you stay in the game long enough to win.
So, how do you know if you're actually sticking to that plan? You track every single trade. A trading journal like this isn't just about crunching numbers. It's about accountability. It's your personal performance review. It stares back at you and tells you the truth. Are you executing your plan like a pro? Or are you just letting your emotions run the show?
All right, you've got your blueprint, you're tracking your trades. Now we enter the main event, the psychological battlefield. This, right here, is where most traders lose the war. It's never been about outsmarting the market. It's always been about out-disciplining your own worst instincts.
And this lays it out perfectly. Every day, you're at a fork in the road. On one path, you've got all the destructive stuff, the fear of losing money, the greed that makes you take stupid risks, the panic selling, the revenge trading after a loss. You know what I'm talking about. And on the other path, you've got the mindset of a pro. Confidence that comes from being prepared, the ability to be objective, and trust in your system. You have to actively choose that second path every single time. Which brings us to the absolute bedrock of a trading career. What's the one thing that holds it all together? It's discipline, and then more discipline. And then, when you think you have enough, even more discipline. It's that unwavering commitment to follow your rules, honor your stops, and stick to your plan 100% of the time. That's the foundation that lets you rise above all the noise and chaos.
And this is such a crucial mindset shift. You have to stop chasing the money. Your goal on any single trade is not to make a profit. Your goal is to execute your plan flawlessly. That's it. When you focus on the process, on just doing things the right way over and over, the profits just show up. They're a result, a byproduct, not the primary goal. Part of trading correctly is knowing when to do, well, nothing. And that's a powerful law right there. Cash is a position. Your job isn't to be constantly busy. Your number one job is to protect your capital. So think of yourself as a general with an army. You don't just send your troops into every little skirmish, do you? No.
You wait patiently for the high-probability battles where you have a clear advantage. Sometimes, sitting on your hands is the most profitable trade you can make. Okay, so we've programmed our mind, we've built our blueprints. Now it's time to execute. This is where the rubber meets the road. It's all about how you actually manage your trades, the wins and the losses, with the cold, hard precision of a machine. Now I want you to really look at this number. Let it sink in. Because you can be wildly profitable as a trader with a win rate as low as 35 or 40%. This just completely shatters the myth that you have to be right all the time. You don't. It's not about being right, it's about how much money you make when you're right versus how much you lose when you're wrong. And here it is, the simple, incredibly powerful secret behind that number. It's not about the frequency of your wins, it's about the size of them. The whole game is about keeping your losses small and manageable so that when you do catch a winner, it's big enough to wipe out a whole bunch of those small losses and then some. This is the math that makes a trading career last. So this means you have to learn how to lose like a professional. Losses are not failures. They're just a cost of doing business. You manage them. You use a stop loss every single time. That's your non-negotiable exit point. You have to be able to admit you're wrong fast. Take the small hit and move on to the next opportunity. Oh, and this is the perfect time for another law. Never, ever add to a losing trade. Don't throw good money after bad, hoping things will turn around. That's a recipe for disaster. Now, the other side of losing small is, you guessed it, winning big. And this sounds so easy, but it's one of the hardest things to do in trading. You have to find the discipline to stay in a winning trade and not jump out too early just because you're scared of giving back some profits. Your biggest gains will come from having the patience to let your winners run. And that leads us to our next law. You have to trade with the trend. Your job isn't to be a hero. Stop trying to predict the exact top or the absolute bottom. That's a classic amateur mistake. A pro's job is to figure out which way the river is flowing and just go with it. Ride that wave. You don't need to catch the very beginning or the very end. Just capture the big, meaty part in the middle. So we've covered the blueprint, the mindset, and the execution. But it doesn't just stop there. Being a professional trader isn't some destination you just arrive at one day. It's a craft. It's a continuous journey of learning, refining, and improving. And this commitment to your craft is what separates the best from the rest. The market always favors the prepared mind. That means you're doing your homework before the market even opens. You're always learning, always reading. You're constantly going back to your journal, looking for ways to get better. Your goal should be simple. Just be a little bit better today than you were yesterday. In the end, all of these laws really point to one thing. Trading isn't just about making money. It's a powerful tool for self-development. It forces you to be disciplined, to be objective, to face your own flaws head-on. It's an art that you can spend a lifetime getting better at. So the only question left to ask is, what are you going to do today to build on it?